Hi there, Michael Eskin here with another ABC Transcription Tools demo. Today I'm going to show you how to download and use the Open Hymnal hymn book that has over 200 hymns with shape note notation. So I'm on my Tunebook site here, michaeleskin.com/tunebooks.html, and we can just scroll down to the shape note hymns from the Open Hymnal project, and here we have the page for that. And we can just download it by clicking here. That will go ahead and download the Tunebook. It's pretty big. It's about 100 megabytes, so it's going to take a little bit of time. So once you've downloaded the PDF Tunebook, you're going to want to make sure to save it to your system. Now I'm currently in Firefox, so I can just click this little download button here to do it. There's something very, very similar in Chrome and Safari. And that'll save it in my downloads directory. And I'm also going to download the Incipits version. The Incipits version has just the first staff of each tune, and I'll explain about that in a minute. Okay, so let's actually go to the main one here. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. So if you scroll down a bit, you'll find the table of contents. You can click on any name in the table of contents. It'll take you right to that hymn. And you can click on the title of any song in the book and it'll take you right to my player. So go ahead and play that. I'll just go back to the Tunebook here. If you click on these arrows, it'll take you to the index. So here we have a sorted index by name. We can go to a different one. We'll go to, let's say, Despair Not, O Heart. Again, we can click on the title to play it. Again, we can go back. I'm using Firefox here. The same thing should work in any browser. Specifically, you can't use Adobe Acrobat because these use very, very long URLs that actually contain the entire contents of the hymn, including the words, and most editions of Adobe Acrobat won't launch a URL that large. So what you'll need to do is to actually drop the PDF onto your browser and access it that way. It also works really well with any non-Acrobat PDF reader. For example, I use Goodreader on my iPad for this sort of thing. Anyway, let's see, we can go back to the table of contents here. Let's see, we'll pick a different one. Let's say, Within the Father's House. And again, click the title. Now, the Incipits version is a little different. The way it works is that it's the same thing, except a little more compact and smaller. So instead of the full tunes, it just has these little snippets of the first staff of each of the hymns. But it works the same way otherwise. You can click on any of these titles, and again, it'll launch it in the player. This will be the full version of the hymn. And we'll go back. Now I'm going to show you how you could use this to practice. And this is a little bit more technical, but some of you may find this interesting. I'm going to go ahead and click on, let's say, Gentle Mary Laid Her Child, and that will go ahead and open it in the player. So once you close the player and are in the full screen view of the tune, you can do a few things. You can scroll around and just look at the tune. Or you can play it again by clicking the play button down here. Or if you want, you can actually generate a PDF of the tune right from here by clicking the PDF button. And then you can pick your paper size and orientation and that kind of thing. We'll go ahead and generate a PDF. And you can see now we actually have a PDF file of this one hymn that we could send to other people if we wanted. So to show you how to do some more interesting ways of practicing with the tune, I'm going to go ahead and close this full screen view, and that will enter the Transcription Tools ABC editor. If you want, here's the hymn. We can play it from here. And we can actually go into the ABC for the hymn and we can play around with it a little bit. And one of the things I'm going to do, and it explains it how to do it here, is I can change the sounds that are being used for the different voices. So I happen to know that voice number 1 is the melody. So I'm going to change that from 0, which is the piano, to mute. And now when we play the tune, what you'll hear is the same thing without the melody line. Or we could, for example, take out the bass and leave the melody line. So if you were the bass singer, you could practice with this. Later on, if you want to get back to the Tunebook, so as I mentioned, you really can't use Adobe Acrobat for the Tunebooks because it can't open those very long links that have all of the information about the hymn. So the way you'll want to do it is you'll actually want to go find the downloaded version of the PDF and you'll want to just drop it onto your browser, and that will allow you to access it later. Additionally, you may find it more useful to right-click on the links and say open in new tab. And that way you can leave the Tunebook open in a separate tab and not have to keep reloading it. For example, if I wanted to load up this tune, I could right-click on it, say open link in new tab, and then here it is. So that's just a tip to make it a little bit easier to use. Again, you'll want to drag and drop the PDF file onto your browser, and then when you play the tunes, instead of just clicking on them, it would be easier to go ahead and just right-click on them and say open in new tab. And that'll bring the player up in that new tab. So after I finished the demo video, I realized that all of the melody voices for all of the hymns were 1 octave too high. So I fixed that and reissued the Tunebooks, but I wanted to give you a quick demo showing you playback with the correct pitch. So here's that same Gentle Mary Later Child. I'll go ahead and open it up, and now we'll play it and you'll hear the melody voice is correct. And now if we go ahead and close the full screen view and go into the editor, I'm going to go ahead and mute that melody voice and play it once with the rest of the parts. Or we'll just do the melody and the bass together. So I just wanted to give you a quick demo of the final release version with the correct octaves for the melody part. I hope what I've done here is useful to you. If there's ways I can improve it or change it, please let me know. This is just kind of an experiment. I added the ability to do the shape notes, and now I'm trying to do some useful things with it.